Welcome to HDX Will's operational training video. This video will go over how to enter the patient's information, how to take a scan on the Dentri CBCT, and how to view the patient's images. The program you use to take or view a scan is WillMaster. To open WillMaster, you must click on the WillMaster icon. Every patient who has not taken a scan will be considered a new patient, and you must enter in their information in order to take a scan. First, you must click on the New tab. You must enter in a chart number, which can be a chart number already used in your patient management software, or if you don't have a chart number, it must be something unique to that patient, like a phone number or a social security number. You must have the patient's name first and last, the patient's gender, and the birth date. Based on your patient's age and gender, it will automatically change the exposure settings of the Dentri CBCT machine. These entries are essential for image identification, DICOM image identification and storage, and imaging settings for the Dentri machine. Once all the information is entered, press Accept. This will generate the information in the red box and double-click on the patient's name so that it can populate into the patient list. After double-clicking, you'll notice your patient's name will move to the area here where the red box is. This is where you will find all of your patient name. You can modify any patient information here. Be sure to double-check and make sure that all of the entries are correct. You will notice the patient's birthday is in year, month, and day format. Now let's review how to search for an image. There are a few ways that you can search for an image. In the same box where you entered in new patient information, click on the Search tab and enter in the information you wish to search with. You can use the chart number, your patient's name, phone number if you've originally entered it, or the date of the exam. Once you click Search, the patient list will populate. You can also search using the Detail feature. When you click on Detail, you can search using the Social Security number if you had previously entered it, the doctor treating if there are multiple doctors in the office, the patient's gender, the patient's age, and it can also be searched by today's date or the current week. If normal is clicked, then those optional search items will be hidden. You can also search by study. When you click on the arrow, you can search based on the type of study you want to view. For example, if you only want to view the panoramic images, when you select Panorama and Apply, only patients with panoramas will show up. Just be sure to click All if you don't want a limited search. Now we will review how to select the image you want to view. All of the patient images will be shown on the right. If you want to view a CT scan, you will select the CT 3D and it will open into On-Demand 3D, which is the 3D viewing software which comes with your unit. Also, if you want to view a CT project, when you double-click on the scan, it will open up with Project Viewer. You can also choose an image in the Shortcut tab on the top of the screen. Now your patient is ready for their scan. So we will go over how to take a scan with your Dentri machine. First, you must choose the patient from the patient list. Once the patient is selected, press the CT button on the upper left of the screen if you want to take a CT scan. This is the screen you will need to select the scan settings. When you see connecting done, you will know the computer and the Dentri machine are connected and communicating with each other. Here you will verify your patient's information. The appropriate setting will be highlighted based on your patient's information. And the X-ray exposure settings will change automatically based on the information you put in for your patient, so there's no need to adjust these settings. You can turn on the positioning laser here, or you can turn it on from the display panel that's located on the machine. This is where you'll choose your scan settings. The mode setting allows you to choose the size of the scan. You can choose between stitch, normal, or free field of view. Stitch mode gives you an image that's 16 by 14.5 centimeters. With stitch mode, for field of view, you can choose either full or ENT mode. ENT mode takes a scan slightly more posteriorly to include more of the temporal bone. The normal mode is 16 by 8 centimeters. And within normal mode, you have 3 field of views to choose from. TMJ, which focuses in the TMJ area, Arch, which focuses on the dentition, and ENT, which focuses on the ENT area. You can also choose a free field of view mode if you only want a scan of a certain area. The field of view selection is automatically chosen to the free field of view setting. If you have taken a pano on your patient already, it will populate in this area so you can precisely choose which area you want to take the scan on. For the resolution settings, we recommend keeping it on the smallest setting possible. The Dentri has 2 speeds for taking scans, normal mode or ultra-fast mode. We recommend using ultra-fast mode on patients that are unable to stand still throughout the scan, on elderly patients, really young patients. Also, we recommend using ultra-fast mode if you know your patient will need subsequent scans after their first initial scan. With the ultra-fast mode, it takes less basis projection images, therefore there's less radiation exposure to the patient. And the ultra-fast scan takes a scan in 1/3 of the amount of time as the normal scan does. MAR is our metal artifact reduction setting. We recommend keeping this on to eliminate any metal artifact which may show up in your scan. Typically with CT scans, metal causes a lot of artifact which makes diagnosing difficult, but when you keep our MAR setting on, you can see that the artifact is greatly reduced. Once you selected all the settings, double check them in the area on the right. And then you'll click Apply. During this time, the computer and the Dentri communicate with each other, and the machine will automatically move to the starting position of the type of scan you wish to take. Make sure no one is near the machine while it is moving to avoid injury. We recommend to bring your patient into the X-ray room at this time. When you see setting done, you will know the Dentri is in the proper position, but you must wait until you see setting done before you position your patient. Position your patient and then press ready. It's important that you press ready when you're truly ready to take the scan. If you need to reposition the machine after pressing ready, you must exit out of WillMaster and re-enter all of the settings before you take the scan. Again, remember to press ready before you press the exposure button. You must hold the exposure button the entire time you take the scan. You will know the scan is complete when the music and the lights of the Dentri unit turn off. Now let's go through the steps for taking panoramic images. Once you have selected your patient from the patient list, press the Pano button on the upper left of the screen. There are 2 setting options to choose from. Full mode, which is the standard Pano, and TMJ mode, which only takes images of each TMJ. Verify your settings on the right and click Apply. Once you see Setting Done, position your patient and have them stick their tongue to the roof of their mouth during the scan. Press Ready and take your pano. You will notice on the left side of the screen it will ask you if you want to capture another sequence. If you don't, press No. If you want to take a TMJ pano, make sure the TMJ mode is selected and click Apply. When you see Setting Done, you can then position your patient using the TMJ positioner. Instruct your patient to stay in occlusion. Press Ready and take the scan. You will notice the machine only takes images of the right and left TMJ. Then instruct your patient to open their jaw as wide as they can while the scan is taking place. You must press Ready again to take the scan. On the left side, select Yes or No if you want to capture another image. Now let's go through the steps for taking a cephalometric image. Once you have selected your patient from the patient list, press the Ceph button on the upper left of the screen. Once you see Connecting Done, you can select the mode you wish for the scan. There are 4 different Ceph modes you can choose. There is lateral, frontal, SMV, and Carpus. There are 2 scanning speeds for the Ceph scan. Normal, which takes the Ceph in 8 seconds, and fast, which takes the Ceph in 4 seconds. Verify all of your settings are correct and click Apply. When you see Setting Done, you know the machine is in the position to take the Ceph. Make sure to remove the positioner and widen the temple support knobs before you take the Ceph to avoid them from appearing on the image. When you see Standby, you know the Dentri is ready to take the Ceph. Position your patient, press Ready, and hold down the exposure switch for the entire time it takes to capture the Ceph. Once completed, on the left-hand side of the screen, you will be asked to save the image. Make your selection. And after saving the image, it will ask you if you want to retake the image. Again, make your selection. Your images will populate on the image list. If you need to open a project, click on CT Project and press Project on the upper left. Project Viewer will open up with your saved project. You will be able to see any 2-dimensional image directly in WillMaster. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy your new CBCT machine.